All right, so let's keep this thing going. And another reason why men come back is because the grass was not greener on the other side. So let's face it. This one is, can be a hurtful one for some who have experienced it, but there are situations out there where that man left because he thought it'd be better elsewhere. All right. One story that comes to mind right away, I know of a situation where a man was married. Let's say they were married for 12 years, but I want to say maybe it was a little bit less than that. Either way, after the first couple of years, things kind of started to go downhill. They started having issues. Towards the end, he was dealing with he started entertaining some other woman. And a combination of his own emotions getting the best of him and this other woman saying to him, hey, I want you to leave your wife, he ended up actually going through with filing for divorce and pushing for divorce despite the wife not wanting to do it. And I want to say shortly after divorce, no longer than maybe 1 or 2 months, he was in total regret. And I want to say it was a combination of the grass not being greener and what he now was walking himself into with this other woman. Now that, because a lot of guys in those situations don't understand how that other woman is behaving right now, knowing you have a partner, is maybe very different than how she's going to behave once she knows you are all hers, quote unquote. And so the switch up, I guess, happened. Total regret. And as well as I think the regret from now being away from his family more and all these different things. And he was begging to come back. He was begging to come back. And last I know of the situation, she wasn't going for it. She definitely wasn't going for it, wasn't feeling it. And the truth is they had other deeper issues, unresolved issues that were going on. And it might have just made her realize, you know what, this really ain't for me anyways. But the point is, yes, there are men out there who make these decisions and think it's going to be better elsewhere. And when it's not, they want to come home to what they know. They want to come home to what was safe. And if you allow it, which again, we'll talk more about later, they're going to at least try. They're going to at least try because at that point, they have nothing to lose. They're not happy with where they went to. It didn't turn out the way they wanted. So now they got to come back. Now, I also have to say this. It's not on the list, but I'm going to mention it right now. Sometimes that grass not being greener isn't about another person, right? It's about their lifestyle, their situation. So let's just say they've fallen on hard times. And so now the lifestyle on the other side of this is not working out and they want to go back to what was comfortable, what was more stable. And now they attempt to come back to that woman. And I'll say this is why one of the things you have to always be willing to do, because no matter how much there are women who are going to say, well, I'll never take him back, or, once an ex, always an ex. The reality is that there are going to be women who at times are going to feel like maybe I should give him a chance. Maybe this is real. And that's why I do videos like this, to give a little bit more clarity and help in that evaluation. And so in a situation like this, one of the key things to understand is if the issues that existed when he left still exist, then there's no point in taking him back. Whether he realized the grass wasn't greener or not, if the issues have not been solved, there's no point. And the reality is that I'm not going to say it's impossible and it's never happened, but it's extremely rare for a man to leave a woman for someone else thinking it's better elsewhere and there weren't issues already existing in that first relationship. It doesn't mean the woman was doing something wrong per se. It's not anything like that. But something was a problem. Something was even if the issue is simply within himself, right? It could be, for example, I know one guy who was in the military. Long story short, he expressed and acknowledged that his own deeper insecurities and unhappiness with himself and his purpose in life caused him to look to women to flirt with to basically boost his ego and feel better about himself, right? And of course, that inappropriate behavior created conflict and issues and all these different things. So for that woman, the issue is not simply about, okay, now he realized he's wrong. It's, okay, Have you fixed those insecurities? Do you understand how to not seek out validation from these other women? Because if that's not fixed, what are we doing? What are we doing? What's the point here? So anyways, bottom line is, yes, sometimes because he thought the grass would be greener, it wasn't, and now he's trying to come back. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. You know, they say some people don't realize what they have until it's gone. But I say that doesn't mean they're supposed to get it back. The reality is that many of you have experienced, or maybe even going through right now,